OTG has an OCD for comics, gets his books for super cheap, one's for the PC that he will keep. Look out, here comes the OTG. Otaku, listen bud, he's got a Sharingan for comics, Yakugan, Rinnegan, no Mangekyo Sharingan. Hey there goes the OTG. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Otaku, Otaku, friendly neighborhood tour guide, wealth and fame, he's ignored, chimney books are his reward. To him, life is a great big comic hall, wherever there's a comic wall, he's Jimly's biggest fan.
Okay, so I had about $1 in change, and I couldn't stop myself from going to half price books. I lack that discipline, but I did, kind of keep myself since I only had change. I couldn't buy any big books, so I was really focused on buying something within $1, and I actually found some good stuff. And I'll show you what I got. So, and as we go through these books, I'm gonna end up cleaning one of them because it really is quite dingy. And so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put some books off to the side and just focus on this first book. So let's go through what I got first as I go through cleaning. And then I'm also going to want the community or, the viewers' thoughts on, if you're watching this video, I want you to comment on your thoughts on what I should do. There's a poster in this comic. And so the question is, should I just take the poster out? I want to kind of protect the poster and display it. I have a sort of a top loader, poster size top loader that I can kind of keep the poster in so we can view it. Or do I want to keep it in the comic, intact in the comic, in the hopes that someday this will become valuable? Let me know in the comments as we go through that. But before I do that, I got this Indian copy of Batman. I believe this is 617. Or it might be 616. It's one of the two, but it's an Indian copy. And what's really unique, generally when you have foreign copies of a comic book, they're oftentimes in foreign languages. But this one is, again, the poster's inside here. Okay. And the poster looks to be in decent condition. But this one's in English because, India is actually an English is their official language. So this is a reprint of Jim Lee's 617 or 616, whatever it is. And so I just thought that was kind of really cool. So it's an Indian price variant. It's a reprint of, again, 617. I'm sure this was printed around the time that this comic book came out. Let's just take a look at the copyright date here, if it's available. Yeah, it is. It's 2004. So yeah, this came out right around the time that Batman Hush came out. So it could have been actually, this is probably not a reprint, but the actual like the Indian version of the comic. So that's kind of exciting. Now, there is a lot of gunk, and we're going to remove that. So before we remove that, I'm just going to go over, this is the Green Lantern Corps 206. It's the first issue in the sort of the new formatted volume. It is a key issue. And then we picked up a Batman number 1, 12-cent adventure number 1 for half of 12 cents, which is 6 cents. So I think this is like the cheapest comic I've ever picked up. a comic for 6 cents. Actually, it's one of the cheapest. I also got a 6 cent reprint of Amazing Spider-Man number 3, as you'll recall, recently. So 6 cents is pretty much the minimum I picked up a comic for, along this journey. So two pretty cool books I picked up there. All right, so what we're gonna do here is, again, this cover is like a cardstock. It's a glossy cardstock cover. And it's a mini comic, so it's very small. It's smaller than what you'd normally find, but it's got this gunk on it, and I'm just gonna do my best to get as much of this gunk. You can see it right here. It's like stains, like sticker stains or something, but it's just really caked on there. So what I'm attempting to do is remove as much of it as I can, and it may be, it's really caked on there. I may need the help of like a scraper here. So I've got this little plastic thing with a sharp edge, and what we're going to try to do is just scrape a lot of this off without, yeah, it's like really caked on. There. It's nice that it's caked on though, but it'll like, if you can get under it, you can actually scrape it off. But the key is getting under it. You can see, so it's some kind of food. It's like Dookie. It's basically Dookie all up on there. And it's not coming off by scraping it. Well, it's coming off there. You kind of have to, oh, there, parts of it are coming off. So luckily it's coming off without taking a lot of that cover off it, which is good. That's what we want to see. And I don't want to scrape too hard because this is a glossy cover, and so those scratches are gonna manifest. So I gotta approach this just very delicately, like kind of like one of those lottery scratch stickers, and just kind of scrape. I think the best way to do it is just large motions like that. You can see the dust kind of coming off it. And then what we'll try to do is we'll try to wipe the rest of that residue off. Now, what I want your opinion on is, what do we do about the poster? I think this comic is cool. I don't know if it, this is definitely like a low-grade copy because of these stains, and there's just a lot of, spine ticks. I mean, it is the interior is still relatively in good condition. It's just this cover has, again, this gunk on it, and I'm just going to come back and put some more bleach on here so we can wipe this off. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm back, and we're just going to continue to rub away at this, and just hoping some of this bleach will wipe some of this gunk away. There's a lot of gunk. You can see how dirty it is right there. I'm not having too much success on rubbing this. It's so caked on, and what I imagine is this was bought by a kid in India, because we have a large Indian American population here where I live. So a kid bought it in India. He brought it overseas to America, where he probably lives. He was visiting family or something, the kid. You got this comic in India for 25 rupees at the time, which is like the equivalent of 31 cents for a comic, which is pretty amazing. Maybe we should go to India and get these comics. India, obviously, because this comic in the US in 2004 was at least $3, but they were selling it for 25 rupees. That's 31 cents. So obviously, DC was offering their comics for much cheaper in India, because again, people don't have much money, disposable income to spend on stuff like this. So anyway, some kid got it, brought it here, and then it ended up at Half Price Books. And again, I'm not going to have too much success with getting this gunk off, unfortunately. So the question is, do I want to keep this book? I really want the poster inside, and the poster also has some like staining right there, which I'm gonna just try to gently wipe here right now. There we go. So this poster has an edge issue as well, which leads me to believe that maybe I should not take it out. But it's essentially a poster of the cover, of the Batman cover here, and which is a great Jim Lee. Oh, it's a beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful poster of the cover, which I do want. But I know if I take it out, that will make this an incomplete comic. Not that we'd ever like get it graded or anything, or that has any value. For me, this kind of thing is just interesting as a Jim Lee collector. If I can buy more of these Indian comics, that would be great, but these are probably not very common here in the US. They're probably very rare. So just in that aspect alone, having this comic in whatever condition is a pretty cool find. But I also want to enjoy this poster inside, which would require me to detach it and again make the book incomplete. But I would have the poster in a top loader to view and enjoy. So my question to you is whether I should do that or not. Whether I should keep this comic, which is really beat up, the condition's really poor, or should I salvage at least the poster and enjoy that? Again, it's going to be the poster of this. I'm assuming it's not even going to have this trade dress. It's just going to be a virgin poster image of this cover, which would be really, really, really cool to have. And I'm leaning toward that. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I'll just kind of I'll give myself a week to again digest everybody's opinions and thoughts. Again, if this comic were in better condition, I definitely would not consider removing the poster. But as you can see, this cover is just I think it's a foregone conclusion about the grade. I mean, it's a very low grade copy. So if this is a book that we're just not really concerned about, I don't think detaching the poster is going to affect its value in my eyes, and I don't anticipate this ever being sold. It's just going to be part of my Jim Lee collection. This is definitely for collectors. What I imagine this is it's like, again, it's food. Somebody was eating with a comic and just got like some kind of curry. It looks like it was like curry or something spilt on the book. They didn't do a very good job wiping it, and it just caked on, and thus that's what we're stuck with here. So again, I tried to get as much of it off. It's still caked on right in this section here. I'm going to do a little bit more scraping just to see if I can't. There we go. I think this is the best. This is scraping a lot of that gunk off. Let's see if we can do it to this. This is the really unsightly portion of it. It just looks like a big booger that's smeared on this. And again, it's just really caked on there. So unless I apply like pressure into the surface of the book, it's not wanting to scrape off. Yeah, I mean, there, it's coming off a little bit. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, I'm getting good. I'm getting good whatever it is. Good contact point. All right, so it's still, I mean, I'm getting like the caked part of it off. It's still a stain. That I don't think I can do anything about. But that caked portion looks a little better now. I'm trying my best not to scrape up the comic though, the surface, but I mean, I'd rather have a little bit of scratches than the stain. I'm sure most collectors would want that as well. There we go. That seems to be getting a lot of it off. Just kind of do a broad motion. It's just, again, it's just caked on and it looks like it's coming off. The dust is coming off. It's got caked on dust is coming off. All right, so give you an idea of what we were able to get off there. There we go. So some of that cake gunk is off. So again, this is just again a unique sort of rare item that we don't run across all that often. And again, this was printed in 2004, right around the time. I believe this comic came out in, I want to say 2002, right? And then, yeah, this came out in 2002. So this is actually a reprint. And they're saying double-sized every month. So what does that mean? Does that mean it's 617 and 616 and 617? Or maybe it's another story. No, it's another story. They've added Batman, and there's even a post-it here. What does this post-it say? I had bought some other stuff, but couldn't send it. Div's bag couldn't take more. I'll get them with me. So somebody felt the need to write a note in there. All right, we're gonna do some more cleaning on the back here. Okay, we're gonna continue cleaning the back. This it's caked on the back too. Man, whoever bought this, whoever had this comic just did not do a good job of taking care of comics, which is fine. Not everybody who reads comics is a collector. Yeah, I'm not gonna it's just too hard to try to scrape everything off. I'm gonna try to wipe some of it off now. Not so bad. Okay. So we've just getting all this dinge off the back here, and again, this isn't a copy that is going to be worth much in terms of the condition. In terms of the rarity, though, it might be something someone like myself would want. I want to get a nicer copy of this, but this is a nice placeholder in the meantime. And just the fact that these kinds of books exist is pretty cool. Again, this would have been purchased for roughly 31 cents back in 2004 in India, 25 rupees. And the question now, again, I'm posing again, is whether to keep this comic in the poster that's in here, which is a copy of the cover, whether to remove that poster and put it in a top loader to enjoy visually. I think that poster would be cool. Or to keep it intact as is and keep this book intact. Now, the collector in me says to keep the book intact and keep this as a whole unit. But the Jim Lee fan in me is saying, no, preserve the nice collector's edition poster, which you could probably sell. You could probably sell that for a higher value than this book. So those are my two options. So let me know, again, in the comments what you think of this pickup and what I should do with it. Again, pretty cool. It's a mini comic, as you can tell from the size here. This is a standard size comic. And this is the mini comic that we picked up. So it's a lot smaller than your typical size. And again, it's an Indian comic printed in English, but with the Indian price variant, 25 rupee price variant. And this is, I guess, a run of just weird Batman stuff. It's issue number 25 of Gotham Comics. So they were just kind of printing random stuff here and there. And again, I really want this comic on the inside, and this poster on the inside. That's what we really kind of want out of this book. I can still enjoy the book and still have it as a collectible. It's just we're going to detach the poster, and I think I'm leaning toward that. But just let me know in the comments what you think I should do. Should I keep the comic intact, or should I remove the poster and keep the poster separate? All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.